To all those people watching, I'd like to remind everyone that this video is not made for kids. It's for older fans and adults. Enjoy the fucking video!
Summertime was almost over on the island of Suoi. The trees were changing from fresh green to brown, and the air was getting breezy and crisp. Thomas was feeling restless one day at Tidmouth's sheds. "Summer's almost over, and I haven't had any real fun," he complained. "You're a fussy little engine," replied Gordon. "We're not here to have fun, we're here to work." This made Thomas cross. "I'd rather be fussy and fun than bossy and boring like you, Gordon," he retorted. Just then the Fat Controller arrived with an important announcement. "We're opening a new branch line tomorrow," he told the engines, "and I need a volunteer to check the signals along the line to see if they're working properly. Who will volunteer?" "I will," peeped Thomas. "I promise to check very carefully." "Thank you, Thomas. Off you go then. And be sure to check every signal, Thomas. Safety is our first concern." Thomas knew that checking signals wasn't a fun job, but something about shiny new tracks and a new branch line always puts Thomas in a good mood. "It's better than dealing with bossy Gordon," he said. Along the new branch line he whistled merrily as he rolled along. "Checking signals is really useful. Safety is our first concern," he thought. Each time he saw a signal, he made sure that they are in the right position. He also checked to see if the light was working as well, so it could glow in the night. Thomas was almost finished as he neared the end of the branch line. Then he heard some music playing in the distance. "That sounds like a carnival," he thought. "That sounds like fun. If I hurry to the carnival now, I could check the rest of the signals later," he told himself. And with that, Thomas made his way. The carnival was a splendid sight. There were big tents, games, and a huge Ferris wheel, and there were lots and lots of children. "Look!" they cried. "It's Thomas!" And they ran to greet him. Soon the carnival was over, and Thomas puffed back to Tidmouth's sheds. The Fat Controller was there waiting. "You had been gone a long time, Thomas," he said. "You must have done a very thorough job of checking the new signals." "Yes, sir," peeped Thomas. But after the Fat Controller left, Thomas suddenly remembered that he'd forgotten to check the rest of the signals. He had told a lie to the Fat Controller. Thomas gulped at the thought. What if there's trouble? What if one of the unchecked signals didn't work? Then Thomas had an idea. "I'll get up very early in the morning and go and check the signals before the grand opening tomorrow." But he didn't think about Percy. The Fat Controller had sent Percy to the new branch line to collect the supplies that were used for the carnival earlier in the day. Dark clouds were beginning to build, and rain was beginning to pour down. Percy began to worry. "Don't worry, Percy," said the Fat Controller. "Thomas had checked the signals earlier and said they're all working fine. So away you go." So once the load was done, Percy puffed away, feeling confident. Soon the rain fell heavier as Percy puffed along the new track. The signals were green, showing that the line was clear to pass. Percy was pleased to be right on time. But then, "Red signal! Red signal!" he cried, and he applied his brakes. But the rain made the rails slippery, and the train was too heavy for him. It neared a curve, and it was too late. Percy toppled off the track and crashed down the bank with the load behind him. "Oh no!" cried Percy. Luckily no one was hurt, but poor Percy was stuck. The next morning, Duck arrived to rescue Percy. The Fat Controller was there too, and he wasn't happy at all. "Thomas told me that all the signals had been checked. Why on earth would this one be broken?" Thomas was about to make his way to the new branch line, But then he saw the fat controller walking sternly towards him. Percy had an accident. He had derailed because of a broken signal on the new branch line. How could such a thing happen, Thomas? Thomas felt terrible. Oh, sir, I'm so sorry, sir, replied Thomas sadly. Then he told the fat controller about the carnival, the children, and how he had forgotten to check the other signals after the carnival. I'm sorry, sir. I've broken my promise and told a lie, he said sheepishly. Well, there'll be no fun for quite some time for you, Thomas, scolded the fat controller. Once Percy has been looked over at the works, you'll be running your branch line until you've gone and checked every single signal on my entire railway. Twice. Yes, sir. And Thomas was as good as his word. He puffed up every line on the island of Sodor, checking the signals to see if they are working for the other engines. He of course checks it twice just to be sure. Gordon liked to tease him for it. Fussy little Thomas, he whistled. Safety is our first concern, Gordon,